Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from sortofinteresting.com and today you are joining me for a very exciting little stretch of downhill bike riding. Prepare to see some proper rural country lanes that are the classic British high hedgerows, winding around, poor road surface. It's all the stuff you love about the countryside. So we're setting out from the top of a hill known locally as the Brow. It's not a huge hill, and the little village on the very top of the hill is called Welsh Frankton. It's sandwiched between Oswestry and Ellesmere, and we're heading downhill towards Tetchell, and we're literally going to ride right up to the very edge of the canal in this video in one little unbroken stream of downhill excitement. So as you'll see, we've already picked up a little bit of speed here, but this isn't the proper exciting real meat of the video. You'll notice as well how narrow the lane keeps going in random parts of these high hedgerows, but even this is relatively open compared to just a little stretch of road that we're about to see just after the buildings on our right hand side, of which one of them is a kennels, or whatever the technical term is these days for a little doggy's holiday home. I can only apologise, this video's already gone off the rails. Well, what a quote that is, a doggy's holiday home. Anyway, these buildings on the right hand side, you might even be able to tell, just I think the last one is where the dogs are kept. This, just as a side note here, this is actually one of the real life Shropshire locations that features in my short book, The Shropshire Canal Cat, which I based a little story about a cat trying to find his way home after getting taken away on a narrowboat by accident. And I tried to base it in a real life Shropshire with everything as geographically accurate as I could, and this is one of the little locations. Anyway, random side note and shameless plugs aside, you can see we're really starting to pick up a good bit of speed here, and we're about to go into some really steep bits now, and you see in here what I say about just how narrow the lanes are, but how you've literally got these hedgerows that are almost vertical encroaching on you. And again, you can imagine these had been cut back not too long before this video, so you can really get a picture of how much it starts to encroach on the road as the summer growth gets in. But as I say, it's one of those things, coming down these sort of country lanes, I very often do these days, rather than go on the proper main roads, especially somewhere like the Brow, where obviously when you're going uphill on a bike, you're pedalling and you're hot and sweaty and you're really slow compared to the cars. And so rather than having the pressure and just having the experience of cars whizzing past you at 60 miles an hour or so, I just find it much nicer to come down roads like this. But obviously these roads are far less quality of road surface, we'll say, and of course they tend to wind around a lot more, and they're nowhere near as direct as the main roads. And that's just something that in the bad weather it does start making me think. I mean, you can see how muddy it is here even though it's dry. You can see how much mud has been dragged out of the fields by the farm vehicles. So in the bad weather there's certain moments where you think, I may have made a mistake coming down here, but for a lot of the time it's just so nice to be able to escape the main busy roads of traffic and just cut your way across Wales and Shropshire down places like this, and sometimes you might go for miles on end without seeing any traffic at all. But of course, especially travelling at these sort of speeds, you might have noticed further back in the video when we're at the really steep parts, I had to keep just tapping the brakes a little bit, because obviously you first of all don't want to hit a pothole or a stone or something like that at a tremendous speed, but also because you've got such little visibility, even though there's not much traffic around these parts, because this is all farming sort of territory, you'll find that there'll be vehicles and farm vehicles, tractors, 4x4s at all sorts of times of day, because obviously farmers aren't operating on a 9 to 5 schedule. So you can never say, oh, we're not likely to meet something now, we're not likely to meet something now. So it's always best to be safe than sorry and have your fingers ready on the brakes. And as I say, to conclude this video, how beautiful is this? Pure, beautiful British country lanes leading you right down to the classic scenery of the canal. And what an absolutely beautiful property and beautiful location that White House is too. Lovely stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do check out my other videos for loads about my life on a boat. Please do consider checking out my short books available for the Kindle, all about boat life, and as I say, the Shropshire Canal Cat as well. But until the next time, my friends, have an absolutely fantastic day. Keep it interesting, keep it bike worthy, keep it boat worthy, and of course, my friends, farewell.